Well, hello and howdy-ho everyone, Foxy Games here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, full story playthrough. It has been a little while since we've checked up on anything going down with the Weapon Project, so that is what we're going to do today. In fact, we're going to do the last quests for the Weapon Project and the last trial for it. Spoiler alert, I suppose. So let's speak with the Resistance officer and see what's going on. I wasn't expecting to see you here, considering all that's been happening about Eorzea of late. Still, if you've a mind to assist us, we'd like to share the latest developments in Werlet. And as luck would have it, here comes the ideal person to explain the situation. Thanks, I'll take it from here. Oh, it's a lady. It's Nago, of course. I'm glad to see you looking so well, Foxy. It's been too long, Manago. Oh, Mizette. Oh, no. No thank you, Manago. Yes, it certainly has. I haven't seen you around Ralga's Reach much lately. Anyone would think you're trying to avoid me. Avoid you? You're adorable. But as much as I'd love to stand around chatting, I'm afraid I've got some serious business to discuss. Following the liberation of Turncliffe, it seems the people of Werlet also have their hearts set on freeing themselves from the grip of the Empire. Like-minded citizens have rallied under the banner of the Werlet Revolutionaries, and they aim to depose the 7th Legion that currently occupies the city. Their ranks include many former conscripts, and between them they possess no small amount of combat experience. The only thing they lack is someone to lead them. After much consideration, they decided to turn to none other than Gaius Balsar. Of course, many would balk at the thought of turning to a former enemy, and many did. But desperate times call for desperate measures. His reputation as a legatus speaks for itself, and as most Alamegans will attest, he was a far more reasonable and pragmatic leader than his predecessor, the Mad King Theodoric, or his successor Xenos for that matter. But most importantly, he was the one who led the invasion of Werlet in the first place, so who better than him to take it back? After accepting their offer, he requested the delivery of additional arms and provision from the Alamegan Resistance. We've got our hands full dealing with the Telophoroi, as do the rest of our allies in Eorzea, but we'll do what we can. While my comrades see to the preparations, I've been assigned to meet with him in person. I was wondering, could you accompany me to Turncliffe? Absolutely. Thanks, Foxy. To be perfectly honest, coming face to face with the Black Wolf is a rather daunting prospect, even if he has supposedly turned over a new leaf. But I'm sure having you there will make a world of a difference. I believe you're acquainted with our escort, yes? Let him know when you're ready to get going. To Turncliffe we go. One last time, I suppose. Another trip to Turncliffe, is it? You know it. Many of my comrades were dead against having Gaius Balsar of all people lead the charge, but as I always say, if you want a job done properly, hire a professional. After all, he's already conquered Werlet once, so I'm certain he'll be just as successful a second time. I'm sure the irony isn't lost on some people, but, you know, desperate times. It's been a long time coming, but finally Werlet will throw off the shackles of Imperial rule. Gaius Balsar, I presume? I come bearing the Alamegan Resistance's official reply to your request for aid. I see. You have my thanks. Does this mean we can finally make our move? With the assistance of the Alamegans, we will soon have sufficient arms at our disposal to stand a chance at victory. But lest we forget, the 7th Legion has been conserving its strength thus far, and we must be prepared for severe casualties should its full might be brought to bear. If our lives must be the price of freedom, we will pay it willingly. Let me be clear. We Alamegans have not forgotten that it was you who led the invasion of our homeland. The blood of our fallen loved ones is on your hands. Even so, the people of Werlit chose you to lead the revolution, and we will honor their decision. I only hope they will not come to regret it. As do I. Should I be found unworthy of their trust, I shall submit to their judgment and whatever that may entail. Forgive me, but might we return to the task at hand? First, I would like to discuss the transportation of supplies from Alamigo. This way, if you please. Once again, I prepare to lead an army into Werlit. The irony is not lost on me. It is a cruel twist of fate that these people, so desperate from years of oppression, should turn to their conqueror for salvation. For most of my life, I believed that only the Empire possessed the strength and wisdom to lead mankind. That only through great sacrifice could civilization hope to thrive. And so I led the conquest of Eorzea, forcing the doctrine of Garlemald upon the ignorant and uncivilized. In every territory, I sought out those with the potential for greatness, without regard for one's birth or circumstances, that they may serve the Empire. There are those, such as Valens, who see being born Garlean a virtue in itself, one above all others. To think that a monster such as him should be granted the position of legatus and everything that entails, it makes my blood boil. Valens brings shame upon our homeland and makes a mock of the ideals it once stood for. By my hand he shall pay for his foul crimes. We're running out of time, Gaius. We have to go after her. There's something I would show you, but not here. Come with me. Oh dear. What's happened to our little guest? That could only be her that they're speaking of. Why did Allie have to keep this all a secret? We could have helped her. Yep. You must keep this to yourself. I do not want the soldiers to think I am being distracted by personal matters. This letter was found in her room. Dear Father, I am sorry for leaving without saying goodbye, but the thought of Alphonse suffering alone is more than I can bear. For his sake, and for the freedom of Werlit, I have decided to take matters into my own hands. I know of a way to save them, a way to end it all. I have to seize this chance before it is too late. My mind is set. Please do not try to stop me, Father. The days we spent together were the happiest of my life, no matter what happens. Nothing can take that away from me. With all my love, Allie. She is heading for the 7th Legion's stronghold in Werlit, I'm certain of it. Taking matters into her own hands. She must be planning to take control of one of the weapons. If so, there's no time to waste. We have to mobilize our forces and save Allie and Alphonse. I want nothing more than to save them, but I cannot ask the Werlit revolutionaries to risk their lives to rescue 2 Imperial soldiers. In any case, if we were to rush into battle without adequate preparation, the 7th Legion would tear our partisan army to shreds. And as capable a warrior as Foxy is, if she were to charge headlong into the heart of the enemy, she would be overwhelmed by sheer numbers. But if we don't do something, Allie and Alphonse are as good as dead. I know, Severa, and so did Allie when she wrote that letter. Returning alive was never part of her plan. Can you hear me? I'm in Werlet, just outside Castrum Collinum. All hell's have broken loose. There was an enormous explosion, and through the smoke and flames, I saw what appeared to be another weapon. At this rate, the entire... Confound it, we've lost the signal. This must be what Allie spoke of in her letter, a way to end it all. Alphonse and the others were planning this from the beginning. To bring the weapon project to completion and use it to free Werlet from the Empire, even at the cost of their own lives. If the revolutionaries were to hear that a weapon has been unleashed upon the Imperial headquarters, they would see it as a perfect opportunity to strike. If it's running amok, it may not distinguish between our allies and the Imperials. A large force would draw too much attention, but the three of us should be able to get close enough without it noticing us. Between us, we'll find a way to save them. I cannot allow it. This is my burden to bear, and I shall bear it alone. Rest assured, I have every intention of making it alive, or I'll have you know my record for surviving dangerous missions is impeccable so far. Show a little sass. Very well. For the time being, I will have the revolutionaries stand by and await my signal. An opportunity to reclaim Werlet may yet present itself, but we must first be allowed to remove the threat of this new weapon. Severa, have Sid ready the G-Warrior. Understood. Once your preparations are complete, let us reconvene outside the hangar. Sometime earlier in the 7th Legion's Werlet headquarters. How wonderful it is to see you again, my dear. I was beginning to think that you weren't coming back. In my impatience, I may have vented my frustrations on that brother of yours. I do hope you'll forgive me. Lord Valens, you mentioned before that the previous weapons were merely prototypes used to gather combat data within their cores. Yes, very good. I see we're paying attention after all. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. The primals they absorbed and the data they accumulated will serve a singular purpose. The completion of my masterpiece, the Diamond Weapon. But while you and your siblings were able to retrieve the necessary data from the Ruby weapon before Gaius and his lackeys arrived, Sapphire and Emerald were handed to the enemy on a silver platter. Those worthless curs failed to meet even my exceedingly low expectations. As detailed in my report, I took it upon myself to infiltrate Gaius Balsar's band of rebels and reclaim the data. Yes, you have done well, my dear. My engineers have already finished feeding it to the Diamond Weapon. Then all that remains is for me to assume my role as its pilot, and for you to release my brother and the rest of our compatriots as per our agreement. Of course, of course. A handful of savages is a small price to pay for your remarkable talents. Even though the weapon project's revolutionary technology allows even an untrained pilot to fight with the skills of a veteran soldier, only the truly gifted can draw out the full potential of the synthetic orosite. In addition to their physical attributes and combat prowess, I require unwavering loyalty before I can even consider entrusting a candidate with one of my creations. And you are everything I desire. I'm honored that you would regard me so highly, Lord Valens. However, in return for my continued cooperation, I wish to propose an extra condition to our arrangement. I request that the people of Waylet be given full imperial citizenship and the right to self-govern. My, how very bold of you, and quite astute at that. Yes, I could grant the people of Waylet citizenship if I so desired. Unfortunately, a mere legatus such as myself is in no position to simply relinquish control of imperial territory on a whim. Come now, we both know that the weapons are but a means to an end. Your true intent is to march on the capital and claim it for yourself, correct? Once you have taken the throne, one small territory would seem a fair reward for those who played a vital role in the ascension of Emperor Valens. I say, for someone so sweet and innocent, you certainly drive a hard bargain. Very well. If it's Waylet you want, it's yours. I'll soon have no need for this stinking backwater province anyway. And what about my brother? Ah, yes, Alwick, or was it Alfred? Whatever his name is, you needn't worry. I've made special arrangements for him. He'll be perfectly safe, provided you uphold your side of the agreement. Excellent! Now let's get you aboard the diamond weapon, shall we? Ah, one step closer to my coronation. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I know this isn't what Father would have wanted, but it's the only way. Please, forgive me. Initiating the synthetic orosite system. All sensors activated. So far, so good. Diamond weapon, codename Xenos. Commencing activation sequence. Behold perfection itself! Melisandria, Rickon, and Rex gave their lives, that others may live without fear. The orosite is taking hold. I'm just glad that you didn't have to go through this, Alphonse. But you'll have to go on without me. You and Father must still work together to... I'm sorry I can't be there at your side. This is the only way. What's that, my dear? Is something the matter? The diamond weapon is mine. Your tyranny ends here, Valens. Low-born filth! If you think your little performance had me fooled, you are sorely mistaken. What are you waiting for? Shut it down! Yes, my lord. Transmitting deactivation signal. It's not responding. That insolent whelp had me worried for a moment. Bring her to me alive, even if it means damaging the machine. When I am through with her, she will beg for death. No, I can't let it end like this. Melissandia, Rickon, Rex, guide my hand. Alphonse, wherever you are, lend me your strength. Combat sample. Ready. Initiating Overmind. Subject named... Overmind? What is that? Ah! This can't be. It's ignoring the shutdown signal and initiating Overmind. But how? I don't care how. Stop that thing before it brings down the whole castrum. Well, shit. This might look good for us at the moment, but it's really not. Were it not for you, I suspect Gaius would have ventured into Waylet by himself with little more than a gunblade for protection. Thank you for persuading him to take a less rash course of action. I was unable to save Melissandia, Rickon, and Rex, but there may yet be hope for Ali and Alphonse. Ready to depart? I'll send for Master Garland. We all expected another weapon to appear sooner or later, but not quite like this. According to Valdolin, after it finished laying waste to the headquarters of the 7th Legion, it took to the sky. Though this has dealt a massive blow to the Imperial forces, I am certain that Ali is on board the weapon. It must be halted before she comes to harm, and for that I need the G-Warrior and airships to transport it. I see that one thing hasn't changed since your days as the Black Wolf, your penchant for gigantic war machina. But if this means the G-Warrior has another chance to shine, I'd be happy to oblige. Only this time, rather than having it unceremoniously towed by airships, I have a more dynamic entrance in mind. It's good to see you again, Foxy. From what I hear, we have you to thank for Avelina for volunteering to help the Ironworks. Since she joined the team, our work has come on leaps and bounds. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to finally put my knowledge and skills to good use. And as far as I can tell, your target is the diamond weapon, the most powerful of them all. What's worse, its design incorporates all of the combat data and abilities of the other weapons, making it far more formidable than those you encountered before. Thankfully, we've had time to prepare for such an occasion. Would you care to elaborate? Let me put it like this. Thanks to Evelina's tireless dedication, the G-Warrior has been reborn. But there'll be time to explain more on the way. Come, the Enterprise is waiting. Very impressive, but may I ask what purpose it serves? Since our objective is to rescue the pilot, we've added a means of capturing the diamond weapon. We come to save lives, not to end them, and for that reason, the G-Warrior has been reborn. I present to you the G-Savior. Here we are, up in the sky. And what a beautiful day it is. You're off to save Melisandre's foster siblings, Alphonse and Allie, aren't you? Please, do whatever you can to bring them back safely. While you and Gaius deal with the diamond weapon, I'll be doing my best to aid Vaudelin's safe return from Werlit. Hopefully, he's taken advantage of the chaos to make good his escape. I'll be monitoring the situation from the Enterprise. Should things take a turn for the worse, I'll be ready to intervene. Very good. Once again, Sid and his engineers have provided precisely what we require before we even knew it ourselves. He's good at that. Due to the added complexity, we'll have Gaius pilot while Foxy handles the various armaments. Agreed. There will be little opportunity for us to grow accustomed to our roles, but even so, we must succeed at all costs. The cloud deck is now accessible. Let's go save Allie, as we confront the diamond weapon. Target in sight. Pin it down with a salvo of missiles. Threat detected. Returning fire. Alright, here we go. I won't let you harm my sister. Wait, that's not Allie. No, it can't be. Time for my next trick. G-Savior Mark II opening containment field. Use the teleporter to move between decks. Accessing ruby weapon. Data, deploying claws. Galisandia, grant me your strength. We have to move to the other side before it purges. I have to keep fighting until my dream, our dream, has been realized. Oh dear, somebody got yeeted. Stay sharp, it's more agile than before. The G-Savior cannot take much more of this, withdrawing for emergency repairs. At this rate, it'll overheat, restoring armor. Today we fight as one! Don't worry, Allie, I'll keep you safe. G-Savior returning to battle, opening containment field. Removing the armor increases its speed, but it can't maintain that level of output. Now's our chance. Accessing Emerald Weapon data. Deploying beam units. Can't read it that quickly. Not while I'm actually trying to do, you know, my rotation. Ah, the fight is winding down. Lovely. The containment field won't hold! Hey, we did it. Oh, not Alliance. Party. There we go. Oh, you're the only one left, so have a command, I suppose. Well, how is it going to end? We must reach the diamond weapon before the Imperials. In all the years since the invasion, this place has hardly changed. I was expecting to find some sign of the 7th Legion here, but it would appear the diamond weapon has already taken them out of the equation. I pray we are not too late. Allie! Please, take her back to Turncliffe. I have some unfinished business to attend to. We can do that, at least. Now to learn what has become of Alphonse. If you have a score to settle, now is your chance. Show yourself. Come to gloat, have you, Gaius? It's not over yet. You certainly have an instinct for self-preservation. I would expect nothing less from the coward who sacrificed his own soldiers to further his ambitions. How dare you speak to me of ambitions? You are the one who stood in my way at every turn. If not for your meddling, the Empire would have been mine. Mine! Enough of your delusions of grandeur. Where is Alphonse? Why, he's right in front of you. What? Once you hear the answer, you'll kick yourself for not realizing it sooner. You see, in all of the previous models, the combat data was either incomplete or unstable in some way, making their performance in battle wildly unpredictable. But then an idea struck me. Rather than using data gathered in battle, I should use something a little more realistic. It turns out that beloved boy of yours was quite brilliant. When he put his mind to it. By my ingenuity, he has been reborn as the core of the greatest machine ever devised. None but the great Lord Valens van Varro could conceive of such a marvel. And to think that Allie came here to steal the diamond weapon to save her brother, only to find he'd already become a part of it. Perhaps it wasn't the reunion she'd envisioned, but I'm sure she was grateful nonetheless. Oh, that might also explain why Overmind activated all by itself. It was clearly an attempt to protect his precious sister. A fascinating anomaly, but I can't stand disobedience. That such atrocity should continue unabated is proof of the rot that is spread throughout the Empire. Your crimes are an affront not only to Garlemald, but all of mankind, and now you will die. Have you forgotten, Gaius? I've seen your data. I know your every move. Such pitiful swordsmanship is a relic of the past, just like you. Terminus est. Copriamos! But this wasn't in my data. Now this is a rather satisfying end, but I also think it would have been awesome if they had let us play as Gaius. Reactivating synthetic Aurosite system. This can't be. How is it still functional? Removing memory inhibitors. What? You? Stop this at once. Please, let me go. Albert, no. Alphamart, what was... Even the names of those you sacrificed in your twisted experiments are beneath your notice. You are beyond redemption. Who are you to judge me, Gaius? Do you remember the names of the tens of thousands of men, women, and children killed for the sake of your conquests? I do not deny the blood spilled at my behest, nor will I run from my past. That is why I fight, to prevent the wrongs I committed from being repeated. No, stop! I beg you! You can't do this to me! I'm Valens Van Varro, better than Gaius, better than all of them! It can't end this way! Ah! Alphonse? Alphonse, my son, I have failed you. But this is not the end. I will see your dreams fulfilled. This I swear. I ask only that you, Melisandre, Rickon, and Rex watch over me. Father, the memories stored in the diamond weapon. Give them to Allie. Watch over her, in my stead. Father, I cannot go on like this. Please. I understand. Thank you. I am proud to call myself your son. And we're back. It's been some time since we last heard from Gaius. I see. You will remain here until further notice. That was Gaius. Valens Van Varro and the Weapon Project are no more. Seizing the opportunity, the Werelit revolutionaries have taken control of the city. Though they still suffered considerable losses, they have at last gained their freedom. And even with the Empire gone, for people like me, life under Imperial rule is all we've ever known. We might never be able to heal the scars left by decades of oppression. While there is hope for all those who survived this ordeal, nothing can bring back the dead. The loss of my wife and daughter left a void in me that can never be filled. In the years since, I have struggled to find a purpose, a reason to keep on living. It is the same for Gaius. No matter how hard he tries to make amends, the children he lost are gone forever. So maybe you've changed your opinion about him. I can see how heavily the burden weighs on him, just as it does on me. In truth, it never gets any lighter. We could only hope to grow strong enough to bear it. The recent events in Werlet have had a profound effect on the lives of many, many people, but none more so than Allie. She's been in a state of shock ever since she returned. We even called in Sid to see if he can ascertain what the problem might be. You see, there's a strong possibility that the diamond weapon itself is what's caused Allie to close herself off like this. But for the time being, all we can do is wait. There was one other thing. Evelina came by looking for you earlier, so perhaps you can go and see her. When I last saw Evelina, she was headed towards the new monument. Is it true that she oversaw its construction? Let's go and see what's up with her. Thank you for coming to meet me. I'm glad to see you're none the worse for your experiences. Actually, I've been meaning to show you this. Thanks to the Alamegan resistance, the monument to the fallen is complete. Though they may no longer be with us, we'll never forget them. This way, they'll always be a part of Turncliffe, and future generations will be reminded of the sacrifices that were made. You were always so kind to me, and now it's my turn to do the same for others. Evelina is absorbed in prayer. Now would be a good time to return to Severa. I wonder how Gaius is doing, all things considered. I hope all is well with Evelina. Actually, while you were speaking with her, I received word that Gaius will be here soon. I wish to see Allie. Would you send for her? Allie. Does she even recognize me? At first, we thought the weapon's influence had caused this, but it seems there is more to it than that. The chirurgeons say that this is most likely the result of intense trauma. Her mind has been scarred, perhaps irrevocably. She boarded the diamond weapon with the intention of saving her brother. Little did she know that Valens had used the synthetic Orosite system to transform Alphonse into a living component of the machine. Then, when she boarded the diamond weapon, she finally learned the horrible truth. I never heard of anything so cruel. Just a moment. In each of the previous cases, pilots became fused with the weapon's core. So how was Ali able to escape a similar fate? That's one of the many things we're still looking into. There's no need. I already know the answer. It was Alphonse who kept her safe. In the end, I wasn't able to save your brother, my son. All they wanted was a place to call home where they could live in peace. But after all the pain and hardship they endured, this is their reward? No, this is not the end of their story. I taught them the strong must lead the weak, but absolute power corrupts absolutely, and those who have suffered at the hands of the corrupt are beyond counting. Alphonse dreamed of a land without oppressors and the oppressed, where all may live as equals. Thanks to his sacrifice and that of his siblings, the cornerstones of such a nation have been laid. Melisandre, Rickon, Rex, Alphonse, and Ali. They risked everything to win the freedom of Werlet. And now it has come to pass. I will see that their ideals are upheld. This I swear, as their father. The long and arduous process of rebuilding Werlet has begun. In the days to follow, I shall be working alongside the new government to create a place that people like Ali and Severa would be proud to call home. For so long, all that kept me alive was hate, but the time has come to cast it aside. I'm going with you. I'll only regret it if I don't. And while nothing I do can bring back the ones I've lost, I owe it to them to make the most of the life I've been given. Times change. People change. And it's just as well. We inventors would soon find ourselves out of work if everything stayed the same. If you have a need for my creations, just say the word. You know, Gaius, I could fill a book with all the things I've been meaning to say to you over the years. But what would be the point? What's done is done. There is one thing, though. If anyone can get through to Ali, it's you. She looks up to you the same way I did as a boy. Don't give up on her. Seems like just about everyone in our little group has forgiven Gaius. And I think that's the right thing to do. He's clearly a changed man. Ali has nothing to say, of course. I would not have made it this far without my constant companions, Vaudelin and Severa. In fact, I believe she has a few words to share with you. It's taken me a long time, too long, but I finally found a reason to live for the present, for the future. For all my life, I've been searching for my place in the world. Everywhere I went, I was always on the outside looking in. But I realized if we can't find one, we just have to make it for ourselves. That's what I learned from Gaius's children. Despite everything, they never gave up, and neither will I. For now, at least, my place is at Gaius' side. I'll follow him and see where this journey leads. And before I leave, I wanted to tell you how grateful I am that you chose to stand by us until the end. I hope we'll meet again someday. I think we will. All this time, I've been trying to convince myself that Gaius is every bit the villain I'd imagined him to be. The ruthless subjugator of nations, evil made flesh. And while many who fight under the banner of Garlemald are all that and worse, I realize now that Gaius was driven by his own notions of right and wrong, misguided as they were. Since then, he has turned his back on the Empire and its hateful doctrine. His guilt and anguish only strengthen his resolve. The day I spared his life, he was given a second chance to set right the wrongs he had committed, to become the man his children believed him to be. I was a father once, a husband. In many ways, I still am. And even though they're no longer with me, I want to be someone they would be proud of. Now, I too have been given a chance to make a difference in a land far from home. I'll never forget my past, but neither will I be beholden to it. When I meet the people of Werlet, I'll be sure to tell the tale of your bravery and compassion. May it grant them the strength to face the struggles ahead. Pray, go in peace, my friend. I must admit the thought of returning to Werlet fills me with apprehension. As a half-Garlean and former Imperial soldier, it won't be easy to gain acceptance. But if they're willing to turn to Gaius Balsar of all people for help, anything's possible. While I may no longer have a place to call home, I now have the opportunity to help the people of Werlet rebuild theirs. And who knows, maybe I'll choose to settle down there one day. You deserve it, man. You've suffered a whole lot. Though we were brought together under strange circumstances, Valdolin, Severa, and I will continue to work together, at least for the foreseeable future. Well, here they are. And who might these charming young men be? They were found in the 7th Legion's headquarters in one of the few areas that escaped unscathed following the Diamond Weapons rampage. Perhaps that was Alphonse's intention. Do not be afraid. We mean you no harm. That thing on your forehead. My name is Gaius Balsar, and like Valens van Varo, I was once a legatus of the Garlean Empire. Though I believed I was fighting for a just cause, my conquests came at a terrible cost. Pray, forgive me. I do not mean to scare you. If you would lend me your ears, I have a story to tell. A group of courageous young men and women, not so different from yourselves, stood up to protect their people from the tyranny of the Empire. They fought with everything they had, and finally victory was theirs, but it came at a terrible price. As their father, I still struggled to come to terms with their sacrifice, and yet they have entrusted the future to me, and I will stop at nothing to see their dream fulfilled. Even so, there is only so much one old soldier can achieve by himself. I would be honored to have your support in the days to come. At ease, lads. He's not as scary as he looks. And if he steps out of line, he'll have me to answer to. Though they were fortunate enough to escape the destruction of the castrum, they may have been injured while fleeing. Have the chirurgeons look them over and find a place for them to stay. It seems the time has come for us to go our separate ways once more. I myself can scarcely believe that we were once bitter adversaries, but my encounters with you have led me to question the very ideals I swore to uphold. What is strength? What is weakness? If those who grasp the reins of power are said to be the strong, then those who lack such power must therefore be the weak. For better or worse, however, we are far more complex creatures than that. I see now that true strength is not granted by others, but resides within us. Strength of character, of spirit, of resolve. Therein lies the power to cast off the shackles of oppression, to overcome any adversity, to stand firm in the face of impossible odds. That is the strength you possess. May it never leave you. It seems I will have to summon all the resolve I can muster if I am to keep my promise to Alphonse. The process of establishing the independent governance of Werlet is underway, and I will do all in my power to see it become everything my children dreamed of and more. For the immediate future, shall continue to work closely with the Alamegan resistance, whose role in the revolution cannot be understated. That reminds me, if you are passing by Porta Praetoria, the soldiers stationed there wish to hear your version of events. Please give them my regards. I hope that when our paths cross again, I will have glad tidings to share with you. Until next we meet. See you soon, Gaius. A changed man indeed. And a good one at that. Welcome back, Foxy. Congratulations on another hard-earned victory. Ever since we first heard the news, I've been dying to hear exactly how it all unfolded. So, what can you tell me of this diamond weapon? Pyroga's beard, even for the Empire, that must be a new low. Those poor orphans. I could only pray that the citizens of Werlet are able to enjoy the freedom that Gaius's wards gave their lives for. At the very least, we need no longer live in fear of the monstrous creations birthed by the Weapon Project. I shall add your account to our official report. Finally, on behalf of the Alamegan Resistance, and the whole of Eorzea for that matter, allow me to express my heartfelt gratitude. Thank you. Father, the memories stored in the diamond weapon. Give them to Ali. Projections from within the synthetic aura site. These are his memories. Their memories. I don't want to live in a world without you. That's why I'm going with you. No, not yet, Allie. Now is not your time. Father still needs you. Please take care of him in our place. And if you're worried about Alphonse, don't be. He's got us for company. We want you to see this new world for yourself. We will forever be at your side, Allie. I'm the only one left. But I'll never be alone. Father.